Hey everybody, this is Crested Geckos. Today I'll be making a care video on the Crested Gecko. Crested Geckos are probably one of the best, if not the best, reptile pet. Crested Geckos are awesome animals, easy to handle and extremely easy to care for. Unlike most reptiles, they do not need to have external heating if you keep your house at about a temperature range of 68 to 72 degrees. Which is always a big plus, so you don't have to keep replacing heat bulbs or replacing heat pads and things like that. They're also easy to handle, and they feel really, really cool. Almost feel like velvet. And they come in a lot of really awesome colors and just various color morphs. And they are bred very prominently in the pet trade, so you'll probably have a very easy time if you are looking into getting one of finding one. My Crested Gecko will be 3 years old. Is 3 years old, and you can expect your Crested Geckos to live from 10 to 15 years if you're doing a great job and are really good with your husbandry care. You can expect even longer. They're really great, long-living pets that are really a joy to have. To tell the difference between a male and a female Crested Gecko, you need to look between where the tail meets the body and the body and the tail. So as you can see right here, she would actually stay still. Right when I want to show you guys something on her body, she starts moving. So let's get her calmed down. So you can see, if you can see between the tail and the body that there isn't a bump, it's pretty much completely smooth. Right there. That means that that this is a female. Males will have large bulges, which will help you determine the gender of your Crested Gecko. So as you can see, mine is definitely a girl. And males, as I said, will have large bulges. Now into the care of Crested Geckos. Crested Geckos come from New Caledonia, which is a tropical area. They are arboreal creatures, which means they live in the treetops. And you need to provide them with branches and live or fake plants to hide in, because that's where they want to be. And I'm going to show you an example of a Crested Gecko cage. And they spend most of their time hiding in the bushes and the hollows of trees. And then at nighttime is when they come out, bounce around, and start eating and do all the cool stuff. So even at night when I'm about to go to bed, you can before you fall asleep, you can hear the Crested Geckos kind of just jumping around, hitting the glass and jump. It's really awesome to hear. So I'm going to show you a Crested Gecko cage. So this right here is a great example of a Crested Gecko cage. As I said, Crested Geckos are arboreal, which means they need to have branches and climbing places for them to climb around and hide. In Crested Geckos, it's a general rule to have a cage that's tall, very, very tall, and not as tall as it is wide. In this cage, it is longer than it is tall, which is fine because the top part of the cage is 18 inches, which is plenty enough for the Crested Gecko to climb around. This is actually a 20-gallon tall tank, which is good enough for a pair of Crested Geckos. Some other housing options are the Exoterra and Zoomed brand of animal caging, which is the 12 by 12 by 18 or the 18 by 18 by 24, which that would be a good option for a pair. Oh, don't go in there. A pair of Crested Geckos. Here, let me pick her up. Okay. So, as I said earlier, these guys do not require heating, and they also don't really require lighting. If you would like to, you can definitely give them some lighting, which I do right here. This lighting is pretty much just for the plant's health in the cage, as I have 4 different species of plants. If you do she's climbing up on my back, a vivarium, which is a planted cage instead of artificial plants, you need to provide them with lighting, and you also need to find reptile-safe plants. Right here I have a Sansevieria, a bromeliad, a ficus, sorry about the glare, a ficus, and in the background I have a philodendron, pretty sure. Or you could go with a pothos instead of a philodendron, whatever you choose. I'm going to climb on the cage. For substrate for these guys, it all depends on the kind of the cage setup. When they're young, you don't want them to ingest any like bedding, like cocoa fiber, which I'm using right now. So you need to put them on paper towel or some type of substrate that they can't ingest while they're eating. So when they're young, I recommend putting them on paper towel. And when they get older and you trust them enough not to eat off or get any dirt in their mouth, you can put them on cocoa fiber. Just as a precautionary measure, I've pretty much covered the entire top of it with moss. And I also feed her off the ground, so I don't have to worry about her getting impaction. To feed these guys, I have covered this in another video. I'll just talk about it really quickly. These guys are fruit eaters in the wild, which means they eat fruit, obviously. They'll eat the ripened fruit that either is on the tree or is fallen off the tree. And to kind of replicate that in captivity, several companies have created Crested Gecko diet, which it can come in several different companies like Pangea, Rapashi, and Zoomed came out with a new brand of it, which they eat like pigs. All you have to do, it's 2 parts, I think it's 1 part powder, 2 parts water. I think that's right. And that kind of replicates the ripe fruit, and they really do eat it up, which is pretty awesome. You can also supplement their diet with some insects, but that's not completely necessary. To fatten her up, I give her crickets because she enjoys them a lot. Definitely enjoys them. So I make sure to provide her with those. For humidity for these guys, they do come from a tropical environment, so it's very, very important to spray them down in the morning and in the night every single day, just to provide them with enough humidity and kind of replicate their environment. And they also, sorry about these hard water stains, I need to get these off. They will drink the water off the side of the tank or on the plants, which you need to provide a lot of either artificial or live plants so they can come around and drink the water off. You can provide them with a water dish if you would like. It's not necessary because they just drink it off the side, but I do give them one. And this product right here is a Mag Naturals reptile ledge that comes with some feeding cups. It's probably the best thing ever created for the Crested Gecko feeding because it keeps them off the ground and it also looks cool. So that pretty much covers the care of Crested Geckos. If you have any further questions, please put them in the comments below. Crested Geckos are amazing pets. Please make sure to do some more research on them. Just remember to keep reading. Don't go get one because you watched my video. You need to get more research before you buy an animal. All in all, these are great pets and a great addition to your reptile collection or to begin a reptile collection. Hope you guys enjoy this video. This is Crested Geckos. I will see you later.